going to explore some of those, fundamental building blocks, specifically how nouns help us classify things, that's noun gender, and then how they actually function in a sentence, how they relate to other words. That's noun case.
And look, this isn't just for grammar nerds, right? Understanding this stuff gives you a much deeper appreciation for just how precise English can be.
Absolutely.
It helps you catch those subtleties when you're reading or listening, and I think, importantly, it makes your own communication sharper, clearer, more impactful.
Definitely. And our discussion today, it's grounded in a really excellent foundational lecture that digs into these areas that honestly often get overlooked. So, yeah, let's pull back that curtain.
Okay, great. Let's start with noun gender. Now, the word gender itself, it can mean different things in different contexts today.
Sure.
But in grammar, its root is simple. It comes from the Latin genus, which just means kind or sort. So in English grammar, gender is basically a way we categorize nouns.
So it's more about sorting words than biology, especially compared to some other languages.
Exactly. Unlike, say, French or German, where every noun is masculine or feminine, even tables and chairs, English is a bit different.
Right.
Our source material points to 4 main grammatical genders in English. First, there's masculine gender, pretty straightforward. Nouns for male animal.
Like father, king, lion, easy enough.
Then feminine gender, nouns for female animals. Mother, queen, lioness. Again, makes intuitive sense. Next up is common gender. This is for nouns that could be either male or female. Think doctor, children, parent. The word itself doesn't specify.
Got it, like teacher or artist.
Precisely. And finally, neuter gender. This covers nouns that are neither male nor female, usually lifeless things. Book, pen, gold, tree.
So those are the main boxes we put nouns into, grammatically speaking.
Yes, but here's where it gets interesting. The application isn't always strictly tied to biology or being lifeless. English does something sort of poetic sometimes.
Oh, how so?
Well, we often apply the masculine gender to things known for, say, strength, power, even violence. The lecture gives a classic example. The sun shed his beams on rich and poor alike.
Personification through gender, giving the sun a he quality because it's powerful.
Exactly. And conversely, the feminine gender often gets used for things seen as embodying beauty, gentleness, gracefulness.
Like referring to the moon as she, or maybe the earth.
Right, or abstract ideas like nature, peace, hope. We sometimes instinctively give them a feminine association in language.
That is fascinating. It adds a whole other layer.
And another maybe surprising point, collective nouns, even if they refer to living beings like young children or animals.
Like a herd or flock.
Yes. Those collective nouns are typically treated as neuter gender. You'd say, the flock moved towards its pasture, not his or her. It's the group as a single unit that's neuter.
Okay, that makes sense when you put it that way.
Yeah.
So we have these categories. But you mentioned earlier, English is complex. How are feminine forms actually made? It sounds like it's not always simple.
Oh, it's definitely not simple. There's a whole range of ways, which really shows the language's history. One common way is adding the suffix s.
Right, like author becomes authoress.
Exactly. Authoress, poet, poetess. Sometimes it's just tacked on. Other times you have to drop a vowel first, like actor becoming actress.
Okay.
And then there are irregular ones that don't seem to follow a neat pattern. Duke to duchess, emperor to empress. These often reflect older linguistic forms.
Right, those feel historical.
Then you see influences from other languages. English borrowed a lot, so you get suffixes like, often from Spanish or Italian. Señor becomes señora.
Oh.
Or suffixes like in or trix, often Latin in origin. Think hero to heroine, or executor to executrix.
Executrix, right. You see that in legal context sometimes.
Definitely. And sometimes there's no connection at all. We just use a completely different word.
Like boy and girl.
Exactly. King and queen, fox and vixen. Very old distinctions embedded in the language.
And what about adding words? I think I've seen that.
Yes. That's another common strategy. Placing a word before or after. So bull calf becomes cow calf. Or landlord becomes landlady.
That's clever.
Oh,
Keep the core idea, but specify the gender.
And one last one. Even some proper names, masculine names, have traditional feminine forms. John can correspond to Jane, Joseph to Josephine, Alexander to Alexandrine.
Wow. So it's much more varied than just adding an S. It really reflects how the language has grown and borrowed over centuries.
It really does.
Okay, so that's noun gender classifying the nouns. Now let's shift gears. How do these nouns actually work in a sentence? What job are they doing? This brings us to noun case, right?
Exactly. Noun case is all about the noun's relationship to other words in the sentence. It defines its grammatical role, its function.
And there are several cases to consider.
That's right. We'll touch on the main ones mentioned in our source, nominative, vocative, objective, and we'll break objective down a bit more, and possessive, which is also called genitive.
Okay, let's start with nominative. That sounds like nominate, maybe the main one.
You could think of it that way. It's often called the subjective case, too. Basically, any noun that is the subject of a verb, the one doing the action, is in the nominative case.
So in the horse eats grass,
Mm-hmm.
horse is doing the eating, that's nominative.
Perfect. Or the river flows gently. River is the subject, so it's nominative.
Got it. Subject, nominative. What's next? Vocative.
Vocative case. This is used when you're directly addressing someone or something, calling them by name, essentially.
Oh, like if I said, where are you going, Khalid? Is Khalid vocative there?
Exactly. You're speaking to Khalid. Or a more poetic example might be, oh, death, you are very cruel. Death is being directly addressed, so it's vocative.
Okay, direct address. Makes sense. Then objective case.
Right. Objective case is broader. It applies to any noun that is the object of a verb or is governed by a preposition. It's receiving the action or related by a preposition.
So in Khan killed a snake, snake is the object of killed. That's objective.
Yes. Or Arif married Zahida. Zahida is the object of married, so she's in the objective case.
Okay, but you said objective breaks down further.
Yes, and this is a really useful distinction for clarity. Within the objective case, we can differentiate between the accusative case and the dative case.
Accusative and dative. Okay.
The accusative is typically the direct object, usually the thing that directly receives the action of the verb.
Kind of thing.
The dative, on the other hand, is the indirect object, usually the person or recipient to whom or for whom the action is done.
Ah, I think I see. Can we use an example?
Sure, the classic one is, Aslam gave Zahid a ball. What's being given?
The ball. That's the thing.
Right, so ball is the direct object. It's in the accusative case. Who received the ball?
Zahid, the person.
Exactly. Zahid is the indirect object, the recipient. So Zahid is in the dative case. See the difference?
Ball accusative, direct object thing. Zahid edative, indirect object person. That distinction really clarifies the roles.
It does. It helps map out the action precisely. Okay, finally, we have the possessive case, sometimes called the genitive case.
Possessive. So this is about ownership.
Usually, yes. It generally denotes possession, ownership, but also things like relationship, Wajid's mother, authorship, Keats' poems, origin, or even kind.
And this is where the apostrophe comes in, right? That little mark causes so much confusion.
It really does. The rules are quite specific. For animate nouns, living things, you typically add an apostrophe is, like Zahid's cap. But for inanimate nouns, lifeless objects, formal grammar often prefers using the preposition of. So instead of the chair's leg, it's considered more standard to say the leg of the chair.
Ah, okay. Leg of the chair, not chair's leg. Good tip.
Though the apostrophe as is used quite widely in other contexts, showing its versatility.
Like what?
Well, with personal indefinite pronouns, someone's passport, with groups of people, the company's office.
Right.
With time expressions, yesterday's paper, 1 month's holiday, even with space at a stone's throw, or weight, a kilogram's weight, 5 tons load.
Wow, okay. It pops up a lot more than just simple ownership.
It does. Now, the nitty-gritty of forming it. After a singular noun, you just add apostrophe as. Assalam's cap.
Standard.
If the noun is plural and already ends in "es," you usually just add the apostrophe after the "es." King's crowns, teachers' chairs, meaning the chairs belonging to multiple teachers.
Okay, just the apostrophe for plurals ending in S.
But if the plural noun doesn't end in "s," like men or children, you go back to using apostrophe "s." Men's sorrows, children's toys.
Right, because there's no S there to begin with. What about singular nouns that end in S, like James or Ulysses?
Good question. That often depends on style guides, but a common rule, especially if it creates a hissing sound, is to just add the apostrophe. Alias's best friend, Moses's law. It avoids saying alias s.
Okay, that makes phonetic sense.
And another key point, if you have multiple nouns possessing something together jointly.
Like a family's duty.
Exactly. You put the apostrophe is only on the very last noun in the list. It is father, mother, and children's duty. Or she polished her mother and brother's shoes, implying they share the shoes, perhaps. Or she polished shoes for both. The possession is linked to the final noun.
Got it. Only the last one gets the S.
And crucially, avoid the double possessive. You wouldn't say Aslam's horse's tail is long. It sounds clumsy.
Right. How would you fix that?
You'd use of. The tail of Aslam's horse is very long. Much clearer.
Okay. Now, I think this next part is where it gets really practical and maybe a bit mind-blowing for listeners. How the placement of that apostrophe changes the whole meaning.
Yes. This is the real aha moment. It shows the incredible precision packed into that tiny mark. Let's walk through it.
Okay.
Imagine you see the phrase, my sister's friend's investment. Apostrophe es after sister, apostrophes after friend. What does that imply?
Sister, singular. Friend,
Yeah.
singular. So I have one sister and she has one friend, and that friend made an investment.
Exactly. Clear as crystal. Now, what if it reads, my sister's friend's investment?
Okay, sisters ends in is, so apostrophe after friends ends in d's, apostrophe after. Both plural, meaning I have multiple sisters and they jointly have multiple friends, and those friends made an investment.
Perfect. See the difference. Now, subtler one. My sister's friend's investment.
Okay. Sisters plural, apostrophe after the s, friend singular, apostrophe before the s.
Yeah.
So, multiple sisters, but they only share one friend. And that friend made the investment.
You got it. Plural sisters, singular friend.
Wow.
One more variation. My sister's friend's investment.
Let's see. Sister singular, apostrophe is. Friends plural, apostrophe after the is.
Yeah.
So, one sister. But she has many friends, and it's their collective investment.
Precisely. Isn't that amazing? Just moving that apostrophe completely shifts the family structure and the social circle involved.
That is genuinely incredible. It's not just a fussy grammar rule. It carries significant meaning.
It really does. And one final quick but important note. Possessive pronouns, words like yours, ours, its, hers, theirs, they already show possession.
Right.
So they never take an apostrophe. You don't write it's for possession. That means it is for the possessive pronoun. It's just, it's. No apostrophe.
Crucial distinction. It's versus its. Trips people up all the time.
All the time.